Well, here we are, Ignite Humanity Live. So happy that you have joined us and welcome. I'm Lady JB, your host, and we're talking about igniting humanity today. It's Wednesday, a wonderful, fabulous Wednesday, and it's all about inspiration. How can we inspire you to feel more uplifted in your life? And therefore, that filters out into humanity. We come to you every day, Monday to Friday, to talk about ways to ignite humanity because each and every one of us has the power, the ability, and the capabilities to do something wonderful in our lives, something special, something unique, something that was gifted to us. And that allows us to filter that out to others. And in that ripple effect, we are going to make a difference in humanity. So many people are speaking about how difficult it is and troublesome and how challenging it is now. It's never been like it was before. And the truth be told, we have to inspire ourselves and inspire one another to find the things we love, to live in a way that we feel good about, to make sure that every single person on the planet feels capable of living in the center of what's possible for them so that they can go out and help themselves, help others, not because they're helpless, because it's helpful. And so we bring to you amazing guests on our show talking about ways that they have ignited humanity in their lives. And ladies and gentlemen, it was just one step at a time, one decision at a time. These individuals, myself included, we all decided at one moment in our lives we were going to do something differently, and we were going to do it in a way that helped one another. And the reason I do this show is because those moments, we call them Ignite moments, they're special, they're spectacular. They actually make a massive difference. And they're the one moment in your life, that pivotal moment where you decide, I am going to do my life differently, or I'm never going to do this, or I'm absolutely going to do this. But there's this pivotal decision where you decide you're going to do your life differently, and that leads you in a direction of possibilities. And in that possibilities, you are able to inspire and encourage and touch the lives of others. Imagine you're capable of inspiring people and having them move in a trajectory that's more powerful in their lives. And if we're all doing that, we all come together and make that an effort. If we all just consciously and subconsciously and knowing that that's possible for us and everyone around the world, can you imagine how fabulous humanity would be? And that's my decision. That's my effort. That's my dedication. That's my devotion. And that's why I show up here every day to help and support you. Now, if this is your first time being here, welcome. If you'd like to know what we're up to, go check out our website because we've got lots of details over there to share with you and inspire you. And at the same time, we want to encourage you to watch some of our other episodes. We have a wonderful platform that you can access easily to watch any of our guests and see all the fun things that we are doing to ignite humanity. I think we're on our 90th or 98th show. We're well in our way of just making sure that we bring fabulous people to you that you can resonate with and feel connected to, and they inspire you in some fabulous way. Well, let's meet our guest for today. Ladies and gentlemen, Annabel Wilson is a two-time international bestselling author and founder, director of Living Ashram, a profit-for-purpose well-being tech company. Deep trauma, critical illnesses, a significant life transition led Annabel to a journey spanning decades, seeking clinical and alternative therapies that enabled lasting positive healing transformation. She recruited leaders across neuroscience, psychiatry, psychotherapy, nutrition, and psychology to Living Ashram's advisory board and developed a unique root up level whole human health methodology, which we will talk about. It unifies science and spirituality to empower women to ignite, invigorate vitality, authenticity, freedom, and joy in their lives. All those fun words that I just love to talk about. Here comes Annabel. Welcome to the show, my darling.
Hi, JB. It's great to be here. Thank you for having me. I'm looking
Thank
forward
you
to our chat.
so much for being here because I just love seeing this amazing things that you're doing and all many of my clients, friends, and authors are doing. You've been on a mission. You've been creating this wonderful platform, this wonderful container, this arena that people can really thrive in. You want to
Yeah.
share a little bit about what Living Ashram is?
I would love to. I'd love to share a little bit about my journey because I think it resonates so much with women, especially women of this age from 40 years and above when we really start questioning and stepping into our own power and really looking at the choices and the decisions we're making. And I hope that our chat inspires them to really look at where they are and look at what their purpose is and dig a little deeper. I went through the first 3.5 decades of my life working towards and achieving what I thought happiness and success meant. I went to the right schools, married the right person, had two beautiful children, pursued various different business ventures, and traveled all over the world. Life was
Mhm.
incredible from the outside. But as with many of us, something didn't feel quite right. I didn't realize then, but the beliefs, the standards, and the goals that I was basing every choice and decision on, they weren't even mine. So no matter how much I tried to fill the growing void and disconnection that was inside me from external sources, nothing I ever did created lasting joy or peace or nurture or fulfillment. And I knew that something wasn't quite right. So I guess you always talk about the ignite moment, that ignite humanity moment. When I stood in the wreckage of my life after a very acrimonious divorce after a 15-year marriage with two vulnerable young children to care for, I decided right then, in order to be the person I wanted to be and I needed to be, I had to first understand what was driving my patterns of behavior and what fulfillment and happiness meant to me. So I was fortunate enough to have a teacher who guided me to my breakthrough awakening, my ignite
Mhm.
moment, that I wasn't living a life that was authentic or aligned with who I really was, nor was I honoring what was truly important to me. So I was living in a way that was out of integrity, out
Mm.
of authenticity with myself, and also out of integrity with the world around me. So no matter how good it looked on the surface, I wasn't living life on my own terms. So on my 15 oh, actually, that was my 15-year marriage, but it took me 17 years on this extended healing journey. I saw so much pain and suffering, both in myself and others. It made me develop an insatiable curiosity and desire to solve the human well-being and joy puzzle, not just for me, but really for everyone. Along the way, you talked a little bit about this in the bio, but I feel so fortunate that I was lucky enough to find and work with leaders across so many different clinical, science-based, and alternative healing modalities. And I saw what worked and what didn't. And that really formed our methodology that we have, and really wanted to provide people with accessible tools that they could use anytime, that blended together how to rewire neural pathways, that blended together cognitive behavioral therapy and other
Mhm.
psychological practices to bring what they know in their head and what they cognitively understand into their bodies and into their daily life, into their actions, and how to tie it all together in a non-overwhelming and very real and very powerful way.
It's
So
so
I
great. And sorry, I mean, it's so beautiful that you
yeah.
did that. And first, I want to say thank you
Mhm.
for being so vulnerable because right out of the gate, you shared with us some of the trials and the tribulations. And
Mhm.
I think many of the viewers can be sitting in their chair and thinking, I'm going through something similar. I've been through something similar. I went through something like that.
Yeah.
Or they're feeling like they're stepping into it. And a lot of
Yeah.
times people feel like that gets them stuck or they feel like they can't move through it. And what I really appreciate about your story is that you did decide through some of what you said, the wreckage,
Mhm.
was that you were going to search for some solutions and you were going to find a way to live a better life and you were
Yeah.
going to create some modalities around you that would support you. And of course, what I love is so many times we go through a journey and that
Mhm.
journey inspires us to help other people and pull them through the journey.
Yeah.
Can you share a little bit about some of the awarenesses and today's about inspiration, some of the
Mhm.
things that you were inspired by and some of the things that you learned?
There were so many moments. I feel that once we open the possibility to receiving, suddenly the floodgates open. Once we release the need to control, once we step away and back from our ego, that's when all the magic happens. That's
Mm,
when we find connection to ourselves. The first sort of most important realization, when we're brought up a certain way, when we have so much societal and family programming, without pointing the finger and laying blame at anyone, because we are all the product of how we were, the environments that we are in. And this goes back generations. So some of the first most important insight having been having been raised to value power and strength, and not embracing the softer, more vulnerable, or more feminine parts. And that first breakthrough was really the key to our superpower. Actually lies in our vulnerability, because
Mm-hmm.
if we're cutting off that part of ourselves, that's like completely cutting off half of us, and saying and denying and rejecting. So that's a very deep form of self-rejection, and until we can step into that and embrace that, that will be a block to our wholeness. The lucky thing is it's all within our own control and power. So
Mm-hmm.
that's a choice that we can make, and it's baby steps towards that choice every single day. I hope that makes sense, and I hope that resonates, but
Yeah.
that was a huge aha moment for me.
Mhm. Mhm. I mean, a little bit. I mean,
Mhm.
vulnerability and authenticity are so important because when we're
Yes.
going walking around like robots, or we just, have
Yeah.
tunnel vision, or
Mhm.
we're not letting anybody in, we're not letting anybody really see the true parts of us. We
Right.
do block ourselves. We block ourselves within relationships. We block ourselves in authenticity. And what you said is we block our own relationship with ourselves, which is so
Yes.
really the primary. It's actually the big master game. That's the big master goal. If anyone didn't know, like, you knowing yourself, you figuring out you is actually the most glorified, wonderful, fabulous, special, exceptional experience, is to just really know yourself. And so
Yeah.
I love how you've unpacked it, that yes, there was some problems, but at the same time, you got very excited about awakening to what was possible. You actually wrote in Ignite Possibilities, which I think is
Mhm.
so great. Can you share a little bit about what you put in your story, just so people get excited to read it?
It was a couple years ago, maybe, and I've written
Still,
so
it was
much
a couple of
since,
years ago.
but the
Exactly.
same, I loved all the collection of stories in there as well. So many inspirational voices, all stepping into out of incredibly challenging, shake your life to your core
Right.
moments to step out. And the only thing I would say about that is the running themes throughout still are present today, as in the call to action, the
Hmm.
call to inspiration. It's really when we're faced with those moments in life that really, really shake us to our core and challenge us, our identity. And that's when it's really scary to us, really scary to people. We have a few choices, JB. We can lie down and die and take the attitude of, well, life has happened to me, and I'm just going to be on survival mode. But we weren't put here just to
No.
survive. We were put here on the short time that we are on earth to really thrive and to be alive and to be joyful and to be free. Whatever people believe in, whether it's God, the divine, the universe, whatever you want to call it, but God by any name, they
Yes.
don't we're not here to be prisoners of our own obstacles, of perceived obstacles. So the first option when we're hit with a huge life challenge is, all right, lie down and die, or stay still and do nothing, which is a less dramatic version of that. Or we can embrace those, or we can distract ourselves and numb out, which is the route that seems easier, but it's brings to mind that expression, short-term gain, long-term pain. And the third
Right.
option is really to embrace these challenges and opportunities as opportunities for growth, for evolution, for healing, whatever might be holding us back, whatever we might be hurting from causes past, present, future, and really using those moments to ignite all the possibilities that are out there, to see all the possibilities are out there, and to step through that door. So to embrace our purpose, to understand what our core motivators and drivers are, to understand what our values are, to understand what our definition of our ideal life is, what our definition is, not somebody else's. So it's really about living life on our own terms and using our challenges as opportunities to step into that. And when our purpose and our motivation towards that can be, if when we can make that bigger than our fears, that is when real magic happens. And I'm really excited to be part of this community because I really see it as us all working together I never believe in competition. I prefer collaboration and co-creation. And I really see it as all of us working together to ignite humanity, to ignite positive transformation, to ignite incredible positive impact. None of us can do it alone. We recently changed our logo, which is behind me, and it's now this like beautiful Bodhi tree that's like alive. And I had all these visuals of all these, us as beings, but all these like trees linked together and growing
Mhm.
together to shelter the younger ones and to raise everyone up. So it's very much a collective effort. I
It's a
hope that
really good point. It is, because a lot of us have been taught, save yourself, look after yourself, take care of yourself, make sure you're okay first. And that there's value in that, because we do, especially moms, I feel, and dads, you have to take care of you. If you're not okay, your kids aren't
yeah.
okay. And of course, if you run a business, you have to be okay so your team is okay. But there's also this really important piece, because it's not a and or, it's a both. Taking
Mhm.
care of you coincides with taking care of others and making sure that everybody else around you is okay. Because if we're all lifting each other up, we're all getting lifted up. So
Yeah.
I really agree with that. And I did also like what you said. You talked a little bit about not being afraid, not getting, caught up in your
Mhm.
fears, because sometimes we get gridlocked into our fears. Is there any inspiration or some tools that a person can use today at the end of this recording, this video, this TV show? They can say, you know what, I learned that from JB and Annabelle today, and I'm going to try that. I'm going to implement that. Anything that you would love to suggest?
Yes, I would love the invitation is when we do feel that trigger, whether it's fear or anger or a very strong reaction. And the stronger the reaction we have, it's never to that thing that's happening at that very moment or the person who you just had an exchange with. The stronger that reaction is, the deeper rooted, the deeper rooted that trigger is. So the invitation is to really pause and breathe, of course, into our diaphragm a few times if possible, because that immediately lowers our adrenaline and cortisol levels so we can access the rational part of our brain, which is the problem solving creative part. So we're not in our fight, flight, freeze mode when we're in
Mm-hmm.
reaction, because how many of us regret when we react from that place? So to take a
Totally.
pause, to breathe, so we can enter the problem solving part and just be very gentle to ourselves and ask, what am I reacting to? What do I need at this moment?
Yeah, I
And
always ask my kids, sometimes
mhm,
they'll say, okay, if you had a magic wand, what would you do right now? And it actually gets them thinking differently than problem, problem, problem. I'll say, well,
yeah,
if you have a magic wand, what would you do right now? And sometimes they say something that's, totally unrealistic, like I turn, the house upside down, and I'll be like, okay, if you had a magic wand and you could do something right now that you could
yeah,
actually happen, what would that be? And I kind of bring them into solution. And it's
mhm,
actually so interesting when you ask your brain for a solution or you move into
yeah,
solution. So often it comes, right? You just trust
mhm,
yourself and the solution will come very, very quickly. But I do love what you say, like calm down and do that breathing instead of just be in reaction. Very, very good point. Is there something that you do? You have two beautiful children. I know that you
yeah.
have relocated. You've recently, not that recently, but you moved,
Yeah.
you changed your life, you kind of reinvented you. Is there anything you have as a suggestion for some parents or some people who may be just coming through a divorce and they would love some inspiration?
As you know, because you were so kindly supportive through the whole process, divorce, breast cancer, there was a lot. Um, Is there inspiration? Yes. Never forget about yourself. It's a balance, what we were talking about before. As they say in the airplanes, we have to put our own oxygen mask first. So
Mhm.
to be aware, because a lot of when I looked around at my fellow pink sisters from the breast cancer survivors, we were all super givers and we were all so busy looking after and caring for other people that we sometimes oftentimes as many you don't even need to have cancer, you know this, JB, met all the women that you see around you, a lot of working mothers, we all put ourselves last. And it's just to
Mm-hmm.
remember it's not being selfish, because going back to some of the themes we were talking about earlier, when we do the work, when we do our inner work, when we take that time to deeply grow and nourish and replenish ourselves, that automatically feeds to such a beautiful impact on our families, on our communities, on our partners, on our relationships, with everything that exceeds far beyond us. So, doing the work on ourselves and nurturing ourselves and making sure our cups are full in all the areas of life
Right.
that matter to us, whether it's health, time and money freedom, you know, soul vocation,
Right.
relationships, all of these juicy things. That's, I think that's something to remind all women of, all parents of, that
Yes.
remember that it's not, and just to pause and enjoy the present. I know that's really, it's something that's been said and around for a long time, but we still get caught up. Sometimes when we're so motivated and so passionate by something, we get
Right.
so caught up and focused on the end goal, we forget to be here and to celebrate. That's the other piece of advice. Take the time to actually celebrate, and not just a quick woohoo, but
Right.
to really feel it physiologically in our bodies and put them in like a positive joy and memory bank, so that we can draw upon those moments in our challenging times. And it activates all sorts of positive neurotransmitters and chemicals in
Totally.
our bodies as well. So there's a scientific reason for that. And I apologize, I've never used a green screen before. So there's like, I have a
It's
green
totally
nose, I
fine.
have green
People
cheeks.
are we're all used to it. It's totally
Okay,
wonderful.
I'm coming in and out.
And pardon me for coughing all of a sudden. I
Oh.
was thinking about you, and you're the one guest, and I just want to congratulate you. You're the one guest that showed up and been like, I love this principle, one of the humanity principles you really appreciate. Can you share which one that is? Because I just want to honor you for remembering one of the humanity principles, one of the seven. You picked one
I
that you really
listen
like.
to everything you share, JB. I'm kidding. I love what you do, honestly. From It's always from the heart with so much integrity. And one of the themes that they all resonated, but the thing that
Thank you.
really jumped out at me for today was live authentically and with genuine integrity. That ties in so much with our message and our methodology and our programs, which is all about empowering women to live life on their own terms, full of authenticity, full of joy, completely free to be themselves, and to be able to generate limitless vitality and with genuine integrity. So that authenticity, integrity, grace, and compassion are my
Mm.
four personal top core values. So that one really jumped out.
I thank you for saying that, because integrity and authenticity are a muscle. There's something you have to practice, you have to work towards. It's not easy to just wake up and say like, okay, today I'm going to be 100% authentic and totally
Yeah.
live in integrity. It's something that you work towards, and it's something that you really make an agreement with yourself first. It's not an outward job before it's an inward job. And I love that you added vitality to it, because I think that
Mm.
there are people who live authentically and who live in integrity, but sometimes they sort of box themselves in. And so you adding that word vitality to it, I think is so wonderful. Give us the definition of vitality for you in your life.
I can feel it. Vitality is almost like it's a physiological response that we have when we feel so connected to self, to source, to others beyond us, to the community beyond self, to our mission beyond self, that it lights us up. And that's what gets us up. That's what gets me out of bed in the morning. And you feel it from literally your toes and your like in your tummy, all the way in your heart, and
Mm.
all the way, it literally flows out of you. And that's the gift I would love to gift every single human. I would love to gift every single woman, to feel that again. Because sometimes when we feel so disconnected from ourselves, from others, and from source, we start feeling quite dead inside. And
Hmm.
I think that's what you were talking about as well just a minute ago. When we start feeling that disconnection, it's to reignite that
Hmm.
vitality, that life source energy, that life force that we have within each of us, and then because that's endless. There's no scarcity there. That's something that's self-regenerative all the time. And it's teaching people that and showing people and activating it in them so that they can go on and activate their own incredible light in the world. That is the biggest gift. And that is what I think vitality really means. It's not about all sorts of, it's not just about, if people are into biohacking, it's not just that. That seems more one-dimensional, whereas the vitality that I refer to is much more, that we're talking about, is much more holistic. It's much more whole human. So it's mind, body, spirit, community across all areas of
Fabulous.
life.
It's fabulous, all encompassing. Well, I want to thank you so
Yes.
much for being on the show. I'm going to have our producer pop up your link so people can find out more about the Living Ashram and reach out to you directly. I do really appreciate you, and I just want to honor you. I've watched you persevere and, of course, heal yourself and come through cancer and be a great mom and overcome some challenges and still be a leader in the community and work to create a beautiful business and inspire people to ignite their lives. And I just want to honor you and say congratulations to all the work you're doing, the effort that you've made, the impact that you continue to do. It's really, really beautiful. Happy Mother's Day, and just love, love, love everything about you. Thanks for being on the show.
Thank you, JB. It was amazing to be here. I love your light and appreciate your presence. Thank you so much.
Right back at you, gorgeous. Right back at you. As you can see, folks, you can shine your light in so many ways. And I am so blessed to be surrounded by incredible individuals who truly have trials and tribulations in life. They've had to trip over things and get past obstacles. But at the same time, they're working towards doing it in a way that is inspiring themselves, obviously influencing their kids, their partners, and then stepping out into their community and the people that they work with and the lives that they touch, and even the strangers that just pass through their lives. We all have the ability to do that, to live with integrity, to live with authenticity, and to absolutely live with vitality, the breath of life, the joy of life, the happiness in life. We all want that for each other, including ourselves. And if we want it for ourselves, then we need to become it so that we can emulate it for others. We all should be living in this beautiful, wonderful world, enjoying ourselves and happy with the things that we have, our gifts and our talents, and learn from our trials and tribulations. And so I hope that you've been inspired today. I hope that you've been touched. I hope that in a way, something that Annabel said really reached you, so you know that you too can do it. She did it. You can do it. I've done it. You can do it. So many of our guests have done it. And you've done it also. If you look back in your life, you've probably achieved even more than you realize until you start really focusing on it. Well, I want to share with you that you can find this episode and all of our other episodes at our wonderful platform that we provide, everything free and available to you. You can also go to Traverse TV and visit our VOD channel and check it out there. And of course, we are on Facebook and YouTube. We want to get this message out to everybody. Now, just a little reminder, tomorrow, Thursday, we're going to be at the Legacy Lounge, my other TV show that I do in the evenings on Thursday evenings. You can come to the Legacy Lounge, check it out. It's at 7 p.m. on at 7 p.m. Eastern on Traverse TV. And of course, you can go to the link below and get more about the Legacy Lounge. If you want to know what we're doing to ignite humanity, check out our website because we got a lot of fun going on and we want you to be a part of it. All right, see you tomorrow. Happy Mother's Day this week. Have a great one, and we'll see you tomorrow. Take care.
Now, more than ever, we need to come together to connect with one another. We need to feel the truth in who we are and let go of everything that's happened in the past. We need to empower every person on the planet and awaken hearts, enliven souls, come together, laugh, play, rejoice, connect, create, and love. It's time to ignite humanity. We want you to be a part of something that will impact the future for everyone. We want you to tell your story, share your Ignite moment, show people who you truly are. Be a part of igniting humanity and making a difference in the world and and all of our futures.